This is Wong, one of Sekong's favorite surrealist comics. Because he will tell you, how important is the time of birth? Someday in 2023, a magic mirror suddenly appeared in the sky above the world. Human ability no longer depends on talent and hard work. It just depends on everyone's birthday. Some people are born in better subrooms, with the ability to fly between dragons and skies. Some people even rely on being born in a perfect history. Receive the power of the nib guard. It can be extinguished with a raised hand. And because I was born in the worst end times, the ability to acquire is the ability to sequence 8 characters. An unknown one that can only be activated after a person dies. So as soon as I was born, parents just can't accept this. Actually committed suicide. It also caused everyone to stay away from me. But just now, I was invited to participate in a crusade against the recent history of monsters. A novice came up to me to talk to me. I act very differently about this. Doesn't he know my rumors? Just when I was wondering, several of his teammates hastened to pull him back. After some whispering, I only saw the name. The novice immediately showed a terrified look on his face. I'm used to this too. It was on the radio that the crusade was about to begin. Then a blue light appeared in the sky. The entrance to the magic mirror is opened. Then a large number of high-level monsters poured out one after another. First and foremost are the more capable senior players, facing fierce monsters. And not only was there not a trace of fear, on the contrary, he was very excited. Because that's how they express themselves. Exceptional strength, taboo, and I am no exception. But because my ability is not outstanding, therefore, they were assigned to the rear group, responsible for dealing with those low-level police officers. And without hesitation, I drew my sword and joined the fight. But I just shot one. If my brother doesn't work, he's already too tired to breathe. At this moment, I finally realized that I am the disparity between others. However, at this time, a brother didn't take advantage of me when I wasn't paying attention, and pinned me to the ground, unable to move. Around for a moment, all the scales of my arms are coming towards me. Just when I thought I was going to die in such shame. When I went there, I saw countless vines rising from the ground. In an instant, rescued me and everyone in trouble. It turned out that it was the rusty line of the norm human sect master. Seeing the arrival of the sect master, everyone was particularly excited because he is the existence of the 3rd grade of the divine machine, and I thank him from the bottom of my heart. But just then, the ground began to shake violently. A giant mammoth appeared. Why does the last boss appear in the back square? The line is when the crowd is messing around. I saw a sword chair attack. Splits the mammoth in two in an instant. A moment later, a silver-haired bronze, a ghostly woman appeared in front of everyone. Then he said to hand over Su Jianglin. Spare you from death. At this time, everyone was confused. I feel very different about Crepe Myrtle. To find out the identity of the man. So I quickly opened the window. View the other party's property bar. It turned out to be a guard. It's the first time I've seen a big man of this level. Why is that? Guard Yippen will find me, a nobody. But just then, the woman suddenly waved a sword chair. In an instant, dozens of people were beheaded on the spot. Then he said that since he refused to hand over the person, then you will all be buried together. The situation is critical. I wanted to come forward. The body is protected by a ball of vines. The voice transmission of the sect master suddenly appeared in his ears. Stay put. Don't lift the king lightly. Then the master walked up to the woman alone. Express your responsibilities as a leader. That is, never let any of the house number members die. A fierce battle ensued with the woman. Other teammates also swarmed. But even so, it's not a woman's match after all. In just a moment, the princess was almost wiped out. The owner was also severely injured, with only one last breath left. At the same time, I want to get out as soon as possible. He can only desperately use his sword to cut the vines around his body. After the liar, I finally managed to break through. You can see it. But it's like a purgatory. I saw the cold bodies of my teammates lying in front of me. I was absolutely devastated. I'm suffocating. If I could have stood up earlier, maybe everyone wouldn't die one after another. This is the woman who came to me. Said, it seems that you are Su Jianglin. Prepare to die. Then he swung his sword at me. At this critical juncture, I saw countless vines rise from the ground. Give up on women. But it was cleverly avoided by women. It turned out that the sect owner was Rusty. He didn't die just now. He was there recovering. But the next few attacks of the sect master, also easily resolved by women. Soon the sect master laws to women. Woman slashes through chest. It's a green light. And a violent explosion produced. The sect master actually intends to perish with the woman. Use your last magic to protect yourself. However, the smoke cleared. The woman appeared in front of me unscathed, with a look of disdain on his face. Look at this scene. I shed tears of despair. At this time, a prompt came from the window. 421 deaths were detected nearby. Do you want to steal one of them? You can also make up for yourself. I gritted my teeth and yelled. I bid all 421 people. In an instant, countless superpowers flooded into my body. And a lot of resentment followed. Although this is good for my body, caused a huge burden. But I don't care. Because of me at this moment, one feel like I can achieve anything. And women seem to. I also noticed the changes in my body. Immediately launched an attack on me. At the same time, just send my word-for-word orders too. Activate the Kensei skill. Next second, my swordsmanship reached its peak in an instant. But I didn't expect. I can only barely tie with the woman. I am unwilling to activate the eagle eye skill again. Every move the woman makes will not escape my eyes. With the blessing of 2 special abilities. This time I did it effortlessly. It seriously hurts a woman's wit. But then a strange scene happened. The wound on the woman's body actually heals on its own. Now, I was very different about this. But I can't think about it at the moment. Immediately after, I activated the summoning with a wide range. Destructive icicle skills. Prepared to compete with women. At the same time, women are also starting to use all their strength. The 2 skills began to collide violently. The energy created seems to be empty. But what I didn't expect was, I was ultimately defeated by a woman. And then it hit me. The magic of a sect master who is a guard with a woman. I haven't used it yet. So I activated immediately without saying a word. In an instant, countless thorns rose from the ground. Hipster women attack. And the magic of women. It seems that it is also because of the big move just released. It seems to have bottomed out. It's a lot of work. I seized the opportunity. Immediately used the ability to step in the air. A flash appeared behind the woman. Straight through the woman's heart with an icicle. Woman, looking at the wounds on my body that have been unable to heal for a long time. His mouth instantly revealed an expression of disbelief. I guess he didn't expect it either. Side dignified guard level bottle of queen. Will be defeated by me at the hands of a nobody? After an unwilling scream. The woman finally fell to the ground and died. And my situation is not optimistic either. The body is too severe due to injuries. Life is coming to an end. Looking at the woman's cold body. And there's a little bit of that in my mouth. Bitter smile. Because I finally got my revenge. It's a death sentence. Go to the teammate, give an explanation, just as I was about to die. A prompt suddenly came from the window. Skill reply has been automatically activated. About to recover from your injury. But I was rejected without hesitation. If I were to live alone in this world, then what's the point of my life? And I said, from the bottom of my heart, if only we could turn back time. Suddenly, my head exploded. Suddenly remembered the magic machine that had just been killed. Will the powers held by the Queen not officially return? So I did not hesitate to use my ability too. Still fast. A prompt came from the window. Congratulations on getting the return skill. You can keep your memory. Back to equity. Whether to activate this skill immediately. And I was ecstatic. Press the confirm button hard. I saw a JD.com vault line. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself in an unfamiliar environment. But the decoration of the same room is not difficult to see. This should be a cafe. At the same time, a young couple enters the store. The man claims to be here to test my marriage. But I was disappointed. Because this person is not what I'm looking for. However, what I didn't expect was, now I found out, it is no one else who comes with men. It is the future flying tiger sex sect master who rusts. At this time, he still had a young face. And the right eye is not wet either. And I was convinced. I do rely on regression to go back in time. So here I am, pen and paper, let the two write their names on it. And birthday A characters, men get particularly excited. But Shen Qiya doesn't look very happy. I suddenly remembered. He did say to me before his return. He was once forced by his parents to have sex with a descendant. Dear, after waiting for the two sprites, reach out and take the door. The birth date on it says that the man is crystal. Rusty is wood. Well known. Jinkamu. I said there was no harmony between them. Let alone dating. It's like an axe that will eventually chop at the leaves. The next second, the man was instantly stunned in place. Even his face turned black. But Rusty Tooth is very happy at this time. I feel like I can't hold it anymore. Covering his mouth and smiling, he said to the man, since James said so. I'm really sorry about that. It seems that we are really not suitable. As soon as this statement comes out, the man's emotions can't be restrained immediately. But he didn't dare to lose his temper with the rusty man. You can only vent your dissatisfaction on me. Yell at me loudly. Could it be that I was joking with him? Then he shouted to go to the store manager to reason. I had to laugh at this. And told him that the store manager is not on vacation today. Hearing this, the man immediately exploded. He turned around and was about to pull Shen Qiya to leave. He also told Shen Qiya that I was too fucking unreliable. But Shen Qiya smiled and said, in fact, my test was quite accurate. And he next. He was going to let me help him calculate his career. Otherwise, this blind date will end here. The answer just fell. The scum of man is exposed. Immediately, there was a foul language. Qiya yelled. What do you think you are? I still don't like it. But the rusty teeth didn't want to bite him at all. I can't stand it. Speak to a man. He doesn't seem to want to see the exit right now. No delivery over there. The next second, I saw that the man's face was green with anger. Then he slammed the door hard. Before leaving, don't forget to throw a ruthless sentence. Then you wait for me. Looking at the back of the man leaving. Rusty teeth are actually very calm. And I was speechless. I thought good things would come back. I didn't expect to meet such an uncle at the beginning. At this time, Qiya suddenly said, it seems that you are very good at fortune telling. Can you help me calculate my career luck? I'm naturally happy about it. So I agreed without hesitation. But just then, the ground began to shake violently. And there was a strange sound in the air. The system prompts that the global destiny system has been turned on. Although this has long been expected. But the sense of luck generated by this vibration, there's nothing I can do. I can't help but stand there for 2.5 seconds. At this moment, Zhu Yaong looked at me like a fool. Hastily pulled me to hide under the table. Because in his eyes, this is the only way to deal with earthquakes, right? But he didn't know it wasn't Goku's earthquake. However, he also reacted quickly. Asked me what happened to that strange sound just now. But I didn't respond. Because in order to avoid repeating the responsibilities before the return, I guess I'll try not to. It would be better to participate in his destiny. And I turned and walked to the counter. Have a look. Can you find something to protect yourself from nearby? Because I know that after the fate system is activated, then there will be a tidal wave of monsters. Soon I found him in the corner. I carefully carried the gas into my arms. Then he was ready to walk towards the gift. At this time, Shen Qiya on the side hurried, asked me where I'm going, and tried to persuade me to evacuate. See, I didn't make any response. He doesn't care if I say yes or no. Dragging the existence I share. At the same time, From the depths of the corridor came a piercing tragedy. Call. We saw a man running towards us. And he kept shouting. Seeing this, Rusty Tooth and I were instantly crushed and stunned. Just then, a bug took advantage of me when I wasn't paying attention. He bit my thigh straight from behind. One share, intense pain swept through my body in an instant. An instinctive reaction. And I screamed for help. Suddenly a stick hit the boog's head. It turned out to be Rusty, arrived in time. But the blow just now, far from causing the slightest damage to the bug. Instead, it caused the bugs to mutate, splitting countless bugs towards his head dog. Seeing that the rust is about to be eaten by insects. Fortunately, Su Jianglin activated Fireball in time. This barely repelled the bug and saved him. Subsequently, Su Jianglin asked Shen Qiu to quickly activate tree magic. But Shen Qiu said, his tree magic must be. It can only be sent away if there are trees nearby. But Su Jianglin said, he believed that wood could walk as well. At the suggestion of Su Jianglin, Shen Qiu finally decided to give it a try. Only see, he read a wrinkle into the wood in his hand. Next second, a green light appeared on the wood in his hand. The start of competition changes. Stretch, a million branches of life spread out. Then he used all his magic to drive the branches. The court launched an attack. But what he didn't expect was, the attacked bug actually divided again. And this time, this split worm. The number is actually more than the last time. In an instant, the two of them attacked like a tide of insects. The two were quickly cornered. They were terrified. Then Su Jianglin suddenly remembered, if ability is determined by birth date, then the rules of the birth date must also be life. The same applies to combat. So he immediately covered himself with elegant tree magic, launched Fireball. In an instant, overwhelming flames swept over. And out of that came the bugs. A miserable cry. Only 2.5 seconds, all the bugs were burned out. Looking at the ship in front of you reduced to ashes. The two of them breathed a sigh of relief. Shen Qiu also showed a smile on the corner of her mouth. But Su Jianglin ran out of magic. Unconsciously slumping and low. Even when leaving, you have to rely on Shen Qiu to stand up. Soon they came to a hall. I thought I would take a break here to recover from my injury. But then something weird happened. The wounds on the two bodies were unexpectedly fast. Auto-healing. Even the magic is back. The two were instantly shocked. Until they saw the totem master in front of them. Just realized, this is the Dragon Level 3 High Realm Baojin. He can heal humans who come near him. And it prevents abrasion. They don't understand. Why would something so powerful fail? Put it here. At the same time, a purple light appeared in the air. All have been teleported here. It seems they just got into a fierce battle with mushrooms. Just a moment. Everybody, the wounds on the body have healed automatically. At this time, everyone's faces showed difficulty. Letter expression, but some people also found that as soon as I got here, the phone started to have no signal, apparently blocked by high technology. At the same time, a short hair wearing a mask. The woman appeared in front of everyone. He introduced himself as Anna. Call him the head of the Fate Protection Agency. And from this moment on, everyone present will be under his management. His orders must be strictly obeyed. As soon as this sentence comes out, everyone can't sit still. This is clearly no different from kidnapping. They all expressed their intention to leave this place immediately. Even Shen Qiu was confused. Only Su Jianglin was unusually calm. With the experience of the previous life, he knows it's just normal procedure. Because the world will soon collapse. Until then, Shu's inexhaustible monsters will love it like a tide. And in this life, he will never back down. I will never make the same mistake again. Under the guidance of the person in charge, Anna, everyone has opened their own window of destiny. Awakened a corresponding ability. But Su Jianglin has two abilities. Destiny recognition and fate stealing. Because everyone has just awakened. Not yet proficient in the use of abilities. So Anna is going to do it to the crowd next. Special training. The training location is selected in a maze. All the rooms in the labyrinth are connected to each other. Every room is inhabited by terrifying monsters and full of dangerous traps. And the entrance is the door in front of you. Those who can come out of it alive are in pain. Then everyone received a novice gift package. There is a long sword inside, and the sum of life. 2 bottles of mana recovery potion each. Not many things, but it's enough for the trial. In order to avoid, his ability once again brought misfortune to Shen Shiya. Su Jianglin chose to work with the stronger Lin Feng teams up. A moment later, the two arrived at the center of the labyrinth. There are several different entrances. Su Jianglin doesn't know the structure here. Is it still the same as in the previous life? Therefore, the two can only find a random entry caliber. But he is convinced that the traps here and the monster should not change. At the same time, a sharp blade suddenly stabbed Lin Feng from the ground. Fortunately, Su Jianglin. In a hurry, I quickly pulled it away. I just saved my life. I didn't expect it. The seemingly ordinary passage also contains murderous intent. Lin Feng, who had imitated guard, immediately turned to Su Jianglin, expressed thanks. But Su Jianglin ignored it. Go straight to the depths of the labyrinth. Soon, the two came to a group of skeleton ghosts. The two were instantly shocked by the scene in front of them. I saw the whole body of the skeleton ghost, shrouded in a strange blue light. The case is also very harmful, and the tribute is only the crown of the 3rd grade of Chongji. At the same time, I see a magic. It condensed in Su Jiangling's hands. Next second, he immediately launched a fireball spell at the skeleton ghost. However, not to the skeleton ghost. Caused substantial harm. Instead, it managed to attract the other party's attention. Then a large group of skeleton ghosts pounced on them. Seeing this, the two could only bite the bullet and head on. Fierce battle with skeleton ghost. Although the two have just awakened their abilities. But fortunately, the cooperation between the two is not bad. Under the intersection of sword and magic, finally succeeded in destroying all the skeletons. The two of them breathed a sigh of relief. And they had no idea. And this is just the beginning. In the next second, the plane where the two were located collapsed instantly. Lin Feng agility, Dai Ammon escaped. But Su Jianglin was not so lucky. Fell directly into the bottomless abyss. At this critical juncture, Su Jiangling inserted the thread into the wall. By virtue of the friction generated between the two. That's the landing. At the same time, warning from window. You have entered a mysterious area. Monsters here are more powerful than normal area monsters. Do you want to request rescue? However, he was rejected by Su Jianglin. After all, this is a good opportunity to improve his strength. How could he let it go so easily? The first person to come to the door is still the skeleton monster. With the experience just now, this time, Zu's arrival was effortless. Kill them all. All his attributes have also seen a significant increase. At this time, Su Dengsheng was very sure, if we continue at this rate, I will be the first person to clear the level. A moment later, he finally arrived at the boss's room. He obviously feels that here and other places are different. If you really want to describe it, as if he was really in the Saber Mountain of Hell at the moment. He realized that the final boss should be hard to hear. Don't wait for his reaction. An unfamiliar boss in armor wielding a giant sword. He appeared in front of him with a twisted face. And it's wrapped around a bright red blood dance. There is a doppelganger standing next to it. Look at this terrifying scene in front of you. Su Dengdang was scared to death on the spot. At this moment, he only feels that every one of his body. It's all has. He fought his fears. Calm yourself down. Next second, I saw him swing his sword with all his strength and slash towards the violence, but this level of attack. It's like giving each other a break. No way. He can only use escape to try to think of a countermeasure. Time. Suddenly, he realized that the opponent's attribute was essence. If according to the attributes of the birth date, according to the law of mutual restraint, your own fireball might be able to help. However, due to the disparity in strength, ultimately failed. But just then, a strange scene happened. The doppelganger of the boss is to replace the master. When the boss is paying attention, cut his head off with a sword in the back. Su Jianglin was stunned in an instant. But there was no room for him to think about it at the moment. Immediately take advantage of this gap. Run to the exit with full agility. But only a few meters away, but was knocked to the ground by the doppelganger. Seeing the boss doppelganger attack him, Su Jianglin finally decided to give it a go. The remaining properties. All points added to the strength boost. His power level in an instant. Jingyu has been upgraded to level 7. Unexpectedly, this sword pierced Mang directly. Deep-rooted heart. This also allowed him to obtain a large number of attribute values. Then he launched the ability to steal. Steal the boss's sword's munchip ability directly. Don't forget to try it excitedly. Sure enough, he felt his sword. The skill ability has been greatly improved in an instant. Even, the sword in his hand also felt lighter. But it also accumulated a certain amount of night. Then Su Zhong walked to the exit of the esports straight bridge. According to the window prompt, he knew he was the first to clear the level. When he comes out of the entrance, everyone was shocked in an instant. Immediately, they threw admiring glances at him. Not long after, Lin Feng also passed the test successfully. Seeing that Su Jianglin is still alive, he's so excited that he will immediately give Su Jianglin a big hug. But he was awkwardly avoided by Su Jianglin. At the same time, Anna walked towards Su Jianglin. Yes, about him being the first person to clear the level. Congratulations. As a reward, he actually gave him a villa directly. And a space belt for objects. Although he's not very interested in the villa. But this space belt is an extremely rare existence. He couldn't hold back the joy in his heart for an instant. Immediately took it on his waist. It seems to fit quite well. At the same time, one on the phone. The news stunned him. He was on the news. Saw the grey hair that killed his teammate. Which he turned out to be the captain of the first team of the Protectorate of Destiny. In the video, he's comforting the resolvers. Looks kind and beautiful. But only I who have passed through know. It's just his acting. He kills people without blinking. I guard Hunter. Protectorate of Destiny. It's where the best of the Awakened gather. They're all wearing masks to hide their true identity. Previous life, no wonder I've never met White Eagle. He's a man in the Protectorate of Fate. That's the past. At the same time, it's in a conference room. A man is surrounded by angry delusions. They are currently discussing. Why did Su Jianglin hit the 3rd grade in one go? You can fight alone. Everyone was silent in the face of the captain's questioning. So the captain can only be angry. The fire is directed at the planning of this assessment. In the face of this incident, he has no clue. We can only deal with the traps and data as soon as possible. If the above knows to clear the customs. He's a very poor person. They may think of themselves as colluded with the examiner. He's out of luck. Never let this happen. At this time, Dagu Jun and I take a break in the restaurant on the 1st floor. Shinsuke also came here with her teammates. I'm still going to pretend I don't care. But seeing that he's doing well now. And I was really happy for him. At this moment, a joking voice. It caught my attention. It turned out to be him. I never expected to see this flower in my lifetime. Heart turnip. 1,009 men at this time, 1,009 men. I'm being courteous over there at the application amount. At this time, Jakuno proposed. I want to read the palm of Shenshu. Shenshu doesn't really want to contact him. He politely refused. However, Qianju Man took care of himself. I came up to show him. Just when we meet at the fast place. My appearance made Shenshu withdraw his hand in time. Shenshu looked at me suspiciously. For a long time, it was hard to hide that I was spoiled. His face changed instantly. In order not to expose themselves, immediately replaced by a hippie smiley face. He smiled and said, if I want to read palmistry, that's fine. I said no. I wanted to show that I was coming for him. I have something to talk about. Come outside with me if it's convenient. There are so many people here. He agreed to my request without hesitation. When I told Rusty Teeth, Celestial Ballman can pass palmistry, or touch someone else's hand. The ability to know the fate of others. Therefore, he's advised to keep his distance. Especially don't show your palms. When our conversation is over, I'm thinking of finding an opportunity Get rid of this celestial sphere man. He actually took the initiative to find me. And he asked me to go with him. Participate in the test of the second door. Since you sent it to the door yourself. Well, thank him. The second level of the Destiny Protection Bureau. Success condition. Find the ice crystal and bring it back to the lobby safely. The moment you open the door and enter, the heat rushed to his cheeks. Sweat instantly runs down the spine. Not long after entering the secret realm, the heavenly ball man just sat on the ground. This thing looks like a muddy mushroom. Pouncing at him. It turned out to be the 5-frog level. Although the attack power of the 3rd grade copper is weak. But they like to move in groups. They sense food by temperature. Therefore, in their eyes, we're just approaching the volcano. Just fat food. After killing the monster for a period of time, the magic of the celestial ball man is gradually unable to support it. He could only reluctantly use his sword to resist the demons. But when I helped him out, the twisted celestial sphere in my heart is difficult. Think of me as an extremely conceited person. Make a good relationship with me on the surface. I secretly thought of waiting until my magic was restored. Trying to sneak up on me. Fortunately, I was prepared in advance. Wrap bandages on both hands. Otherwise, this guy has long wanted to test my obligations. If he finds out that it is a heavy 3rd boat, maybe he ripped off his disguised face long ago. And then we went on a journey. We see it. There is a bright body in the center of the distant rock. And at this moment, the celestial ball man thought to himself, he's going to take the ice crystal back alone. If I can become the empty guard of the second gate. Generous rewards plus fame. Crowd worship, etc. He can put it in the bag alone. When he wears an evil smile. When picking up the bright body in the center of the rock. The touch he gave him was actually soft. As an ice cube, it's a strange sensation. When he squeezed hard, I just found out that this is actually the hair of the 5-frog. At the same time, monsters around to protect the egg swarm. At this moment, he panicked and asked me for help. Because it's not the time to worrying about self-esteem. But when he finally found time to look at me, it was my cold eyes. I said to him word by word, you brought this on yourself. Then in his constant pleading, I gradually left his field of vision. And now all this. In fact, it was already in my plan. With the screams in the distance. I am also on my way to my true destination. There is a cave in the distance. The moment I walked into the cave. Feel the cold. Fortunately, the location of the cave remains unchanged. Ice crystals grow in the cave. Crystal light shines in the cave. Ice crystal is the 3rd grade. A crystal made of ice cubes. You can increase the attribute quality when holding. Just take the ice crystal back to the lobby. This customs clearance is over. But there's something more important to me. I yelled at the system, please open the shop window. Accompanied by orders. The store system is turned on. The condition for opening him is that a shower is required. Fortunately, the shower was prepared in advance before coming here. Soon a small wooden box fell into my hand. Made into wooden box grade. Put props in a wooden box for a horse. Devout prayer. You can get the desired type of props. Compared to rank. Made into wooden boxes is a very inexpensive item. Because it's a gambling tool. Subsequently, I put the ghost 3rd grade ice crystal into the wooden box. I earnestly pray that I can change. Good stuff for weird products. After a while, the wooden box started to rumble. Immediately, a 3rd grade ghost insect called out. This is for restoration. But not what I had hoped for. Then leaning against the wall of ice crystals. Keep wishing through the wooden river. Finally, there was not much time left for the ice crystal. A strange artifact appeared. Amulet of Destiny. Level strange. Protect a part of Destiny in the birthday horoscope. Make it impossible for others to read. Last second, it was still an innocent and cute rabbit. In the next second, his fierce fangs were instantly exposed. This is the real Capricorn. Just before, when clearing the second level, in order not to stand out too much. When emerging from adversity, I deliberately put part of the crystal, hidden in the belly of the fire frog, so that the celestial ball man can find out. It's exactly what I thought. He finally saved his life. On the way back to the lost hall, saw the ice crystal. On purpose, he also became a void keeper. It also successfully became another hero in the eyes of lonely June. And the second door is too fast to clear. Makes the planners of the conservation agency face another dilemma. As planned, these initial awakeners, it must be honed after more than a month. Just start the third door for them. Because this third door is a genuine magic mirror. If the strength does not meet the standard, it's basically the rhythm of going to death. After their internal consultations, the opening time of the third door has been extended indefinitely. Before I knew it, more than a month had passed. And what's different now than usual is everybody gathered. People from the Fate Protection Bureau stand in the middle of the hall, compared to the panic on the first day. Nowadays, people are rather staring calmly at the person in the center. And then you heard the voice you were waiting for. From this moment on, access to the third gate is officially allowed. He also briefly explained why. The first and second doors are the Fate Protection Bureau, a training ground created by training. But from the third door, it will no longer be a training ground, but a real magic mirror. Will be more dangerous, more cruel. Everybody's going to be in the same place. Hear, hear. When some people start to waver. Then he added that if the monster is killed, you can collect the spirit field. And with these realms, can pass through the store bed, in exchange for the items you want. At this moment, new shop windows appeared in front of the crowd. When people talk about what's in it, he also emphasized, when everyone is killing monsters, God watches what you do. If you hear the voice of God, please do not respond immediately. Check out the newly updated manual now. So much for my advice. I hope you don't die in it. And before everyone recovered from the shock, he has disappeared from the same place. While I was also thinking about the next step, a pair of twins crept up on me. It was Yin Kun and Yin Dong. In my previous life, I had the most difficult time. It's Shen, Xia and the twins have been by my side. Although they both look the same. Same sound. But the birth date is completely different. Because of Yin Dong in his previous life, will die in the experience of the third door. Think of this. I used fate detection on this hidden art. The result is the same as in the previous life. Tip no. His life will be in danger for a long time to come. When they both invited me to the mirror. And I gladly agreed. Because in this life, I want to change my destiny. Get them back to the lobby safely. Third level. I spat. Customs clearance requirements. You need to kill more than 10 monsters of different types. The moment you open the door, a cool breeze hits. Received a system prompt at the same time. All abilities are only reduced by 10% due to the cold. As I led them through the neighborhood, soon I saw two cute rabbits. But when the twins get close, these two little cuties, instantly showing fierce fangs. This also makes to not Eve twins. Realizing once again the horror of the magic mirror. Then with the cooperation of the three, we have also collected a number of fields. At my suggestion, they each receive new equipment. Yin Kun is in charge of shooting. Yin Dong is in charge of bows and arrows. After the death of her sister, Yin Kun in her previous life, the original smiling face, never smiled again. Then he was like revenge for his sister, desperately killing the demon. After that, he relied on his rapidly growing strength. Spotted by Shora sect, one of the 5 major sects. And Shora men are. Later stage, Yin Xia led the enemy sect of Flying Tiger sect. Many members of Fei Human died in Yinkan. If I could change my destiny in this life, let them enter Yin Shi's flying tiger gate together. Or the people he killed can come back to life. But when I think about it, I look back at them. I actually only saw Yin Kun killing the monster. And Yin Dong disappeared. See my panicked expression. Yin Kun hurriedly explained that he had just gone to the bathroom. But I knew his life would be in danger. Just in case. I still started looking for Yin Dong. Suddenly, there is a rush from a distance. As soon as the call approaches, I saw Yin Dong waving to us. And there was a man half crouched beside him. It turned out that he was saving the person next to him. Accidentally fell here. When I jumped to see if he was hurt, I also saw that the person around me turned out to be a celestial bull man. At this moment, his whole body is frozen, half kneeling on the ground. In order not to let me recognize, he deliberately moved his face to the other side. Both had tried and he asked if he needed help. At this moment, his pride is wounded. With a sharp voice without realizing it. Rejected my request. Because I'm his most hated opponent. The kid is still bluffing in this situation. And I went along with that. I planned to leave here with Yin Dong. But the kind-hearted Yin Dong hurriedly added, I heard he was attacked by a powerful monster. The tail was paralyzed. It turned out that it was hit by the weakest rabbit's foot. It will be fine in a while. After my sarcasm, I left here with the twins. And the insulted celestial sphere man. Thinking harder about how to embarrass me too. Suddenly, he heard something.